This is the United States Private Enterprise Free State, along with Deutsche Ma Eliantis Church. It's an ecclesiastical church. United States Private Enterprise Free State is the state, the church, and state, the church, and state. Here we are, together, rocking it and dropping it. Peace and blessings to our people in the house. Y'all need to gather on in, gather on in, gather on in. Gather in, my people. Gather in. Y'all in the house? Y'all in the house? Are y'all in the house? So check it. Today's topic is acceptance of trustee oath, declaration of trust. What else we got for y'all? We got that fiduciary appointment. So, and the UCC1 financing statement. So that is what we are going to be discussing today, because it is needed that you know that if you have status corrected, that this, what we're going to talk about today, is part of status correction, my people. Status correction. It is part of status correction, my people. You will have to be status corrected. So listen to what I'm saying. You know, give me a bunch of ones if you feeling me. All right now, give me those ones, because the information that I'm about to drop is $1 trillion worth of info. Straight up. You want to drop that donation, $ RUBIEWILKIE on Cash App. Okay? My flag is up there. It's a little circle with red, silver, copper, and a gold sun. So you know who I am. Drop me that Cash App for this donation now, because I'm about to rip you in one that's going to put you where you need to be right now in your position. So check it. As the people gather in, come on, y'all, gather in. Got your pen ready, got your piece of paper ready. We gonna jump right into it. But before I do, again, this is the United States Private Enterprise Free State. So check it. Of sound mind and lawful age of majority, do hereby accept the appointment as trustee of whatever the name of your trust is, established on whatever date you established your trust, by John Doe, the living woman or man and grantor. I solemnly affirm that I will faithfully and honestly discharge the duties of trustee to the best of my ability and in accordance with the terms and purpose of the trust, and with the intent to protect and administer the trust estate for the benefit of its rightful beneficiaries. This acceptance of trustee oath is made freely and voluntarily, and I affirm my commitment to uphold the fiduciary responsibilities entrusted to me. In witness of, I have hereunto set my hand and seal to this date. You will put your date in, and then you would sign it. And then under it, it will be your trustee name. That is a formal and lawful acceptance of trustee oath. Okay, my people? You have to really, we're talking right now about a living trust. Okay? So you play all three roles. Okay? You play all three roles in a living trust. Now, you need an EIN number for that living trust. You need a trust ID number for that living trust, meaning whatever state you are registering your trust in, and the address of the trust, your name, and the trust should be on file. Okay, it should be within your trust indenture. Let's move on to the declaration of trust. Now, the declaration of trust should have a name, whatever you name your trust, okay, and whatever type of trust you're going to use, because everybody may not want to have the same type of trust structure. Now, in your declaration of trust, this declaration of trust is made and entered into on this month, day, and year by and between the trustee as the sole trustee, the trustee's name as the sole trustee, herein referred to as trustee, who hereby accepts and acknowledges the creation of the revocable living trust. Name. The trust shall be known as whatever name of your trust is. 2. Trustee. The sole trustee shall be John Doe trustee. Grantor. The living woman or man, John Doe, born on whatever day they were born, DOB, date of birth, who reserves full power to revoke or amend this trust. 4, the trust EIN number, whatever your trust EIN number is. 5, the address. So whatever address you have for the trust. 6, the purpose: to hold, protect, manage, and distribute assets and to exercise all lawful rights as the living estate. 7, revocability. This trust is revocable at the discretion of the grantor during his or her lifetime. In witness of, the undersigned have executed this declaration of trust on the date first above written. So you would sign it, and under it is going to be the name trustee, whatever it is, John Doe trustee. Now, you're going to want to make 3 copies of that declaration of trust, because you have to give it to certain people. You want a copy for yourself. You may want a copy for the IRS, a copy for the Social Security Administration, a copy for the Federal Reserve, and a copy for Treasury Direct. Now, notice a fiduciary appointment. So, 2, Internal Revenue Service, the address, because they do have an Internal Revenue Service in Baltimore, Maryland, and it's the same address as the Social Security Administration. Did you know about that? So it goes to let you show that the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration work hand in hand. Now, underneath the address of the Internal Revenue Service, I'm not going to give you the address. I just told you. You have to look that up yourself. or you can book a consultation with me, 407-300-5377. My consults are $50 for 30 minutes. Now, back to the notice of fiduciary appointment. Under the address, where it says RE, semicolon, notice of fiduciary appointment would be the living trust name. I, the trustee, hereby give John Doe trustee, give notice that I have been duly appointed and have accepted the role of fiduciary and trustee for the name of your living trust, comma, with the EIN number established on the month, day, and year. As the sole trustee and fiduciary, I am authorized to act in all capacities concerning the trust estate, to manage and protect all related property interests, and to correspond with the IRS on behalf of the trust. This notice is provided to update your records and to ensure that all future correspondence and tax matters are directed appropriately through the undersigned trustee. Respectfully submitted, the name, John Doe trustee, and the address, dated on the month, day, and year. Okay, so that is a notice of fiduciary appointment. Also, that would go along with your Form 56 and 2848, POA, power of attorney. Now, there's a power of attorney in the Treasury Direct, which you may want to fill out and send in to start taking over that account in Treasury Direct. You know, it's a durable power of attorney, and it's one of those forms that you have to look in on Treasury Direct. Now, there's also a power of attorney form inside the Social Security Administration. You may have to look that form up, or you can send your own in. We can move on to the UCC-1 financing statement. You know, and this is just an example. So basically, you're using the UCC-1 financing statement to become the secured party on the record. So you would file one in New York State, you would file one in Maryland, and you would also file one in the state that you are operating the trust out of. Okay, doing business with the trust, because the trust is a business. The debtor would be the all caps name as on the certificate of birth. And the address would be the trust address. The secured party, always your last name first, but you're going to put down as the trustee of the living. You understand that a living trust is domestic, right? The living trust is domestic. So, collateral. The collateral are all assets, proceeds. Remember, proceeds, if you look on your 1099-B, there are proceeds. There's a box that says proceeds. Okay? Hint, hint, wink, wink, key, Solomon key, y'all. So the collateral would be all assets, proceeds, accounts, instruments, and instruments are all those 1099 instruments within the IRS. A, B, C, D, O, I, D, K, all of that are instruments. Your bonds are instruments. How you settle debt is all instruments. And interests associated with the debtor. So any interest interest can mean, all the interest that you accrue on anything, including but not limited to the birth certificate, Social Security account, and any derivatives thereof. So, all the millions of derivatives that have been made in your name without your knowledge or your consent now have to be returned back to you by filing your 1099 OID A and B. You use a 1099-C to cancel out debt. So if you're acquiring collateral and property, credit cards, everything is property. If you're acquiring property, you do a 1099-A to acquire the property. Then if you want, you could do a 1099-B, but you must do an OID to settle the debt, because that's why you're here. You're here to settle the debt, because the debt has been transferred to the debtor. The all caps name carries the debt of the United States. Okay? The United States is the United States in the District of Columbia. The United States of America is the Republic. That's we the people. So you may have to distinguish between that and what it means. Now, notice of filing a UCC-1 financing statement. To whom it may concern, this is a formal notice that a UCC-1 financing statement has been duly prepared and is being filed with the New York State Secretary of State to publicly record John Doe Trustee as the secured party creditor over all property, proceeds, accounts, instruments, and derivations thereof associated with the name, the all caps name, whatever your all caps name is. All parties are hereby noticed to update their records accordingly and to direct any future inquiries to the undersigned. Respectfully, John Doe Trustee. And there you put the trust name, the address, date, the signature, John Doe, living woman or man, do hereby solemnly affirm and declare under penalty of perjury that 1. I am the true and lawful owner and holder in due course of all rights, title, interests, and in the legal entity styled as the all caps name, including any and all associated trust or bond interest derived from the certificate of birth and social security number. 2. I am the sole grantor and trustee of whatever your living trust is, name, the EIN number, established on the date, the month, day, and year, which holds all lawful title and right to the property interest described herein. Number 3, this affidavit of ownership serves as lawful notice and rebuttal to any and all contrary claims, any unauthorized use of my trust or estate property is hereby denied and rebutted. 4, the affidavit may be relied upon by any agency, bank, or individual for the purpose of record correction, estate administration, and protection of my living estate. I affirm that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and I affirm that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. Executed this day, month, and year. Then you're going to go to the signature, John Doe trustee. Then you put the name of your living trust, the address. Now, that is the affidavit of ownership and claim of title. You see, my people, it's really, really simple. It's not drawn out how a lot of these so-called gurus make it out to be. I'm not a guru. I am an American national New Yorker. That is what I am. I am a trustee. I am an executor. I am a beneficiary. I am a fiduciary. I am a conservator. I am a conservatorship. I am a guardian. I am a guardianship. I am a custodian. I am a custodianship. Okay? Ship. The vessel is a ship. So, under what I have just described to you and read off, acceptance of trustee oath, a declaration of your living trust, okay? And I told you you're going to need about 3 or 4 copies of that declaration of trust because you're going to have to send it out to Treasury Direct, IRS, SSA, and Federal Reserve. Notice of fiduciary appointment, along with your Form 56 and 2848. And then you have the forms inside the Treasury Direct, durable power of attorney. Okay? You're going to have UCC financing statement that you're going to have to go and create, one in New York, one Maryland, because Maryland is the hub of the taxation and finance, which is the IRS. Okay? Then, you have your financing statement along with your affidavit of ownership and claim of title. Now, if you need to get with the United States Private Enterprise Free State, we can help you out with this process. 407-300-5377. If you need us to type the paperwork up for you, yes, we do have that service. And yes, it is a fee. Now, we ain't going to dig your pockets out, but we charge a flat fee to get what I just said from all typed up for you. Nice bundle package for you. That acceptance of trustee, all of that is going to be done for you. If you don't have the time to do it, we can do it for you. That's how we roll here at the United States Private Enterprise Free State. You know what I'm saying? Because it is your birthright to be wealthy. We were all born with a birthright of wealth and prosperity, especially if you were born here on the land, okay, in the United States of America with a certificate of birth. Yes, we have been renationalized into a United States District of Columbia, but you can come out of that. And that's what this live is all about. It's all about leaving the District of Columbia and setting yourself free to now be on your own soil, to self-govern what you do every day, every minute, every second, every hour, every nanosecond. Because you want to remove the fraudulent trustees that are over you. You want to remove the fraudulent executors that sit over you and the fraudulent financial institutions that are robbing you of your interest. You can get all that back. We have the process right here. Give the United States Private Enterprise Free State a call, okay? we have state, and we have church, Die Jamal Eliantis Church. They say there's a separation between church and state. I don't know how true that is, but I think they all work hand in hand. How you fold your hands to pray, one side is the church, one side is the state. You have now combined both hands together, and now they're in bed together. So I don't see the difference. They're just two different names of two different, know that process, you should have no problems with executing the process. Okay. We're going to go out there and we're going to take you into another realm of something else right now. So, you see, they have right here with sureties, with sufficient security, and then you have right here with the consent. Now it says consent required by statute which subjects owner of real property to mechanic's lien improvements affected at instance of tenant where work is done with the consent of owner is not mere acquiescence and benefit, but some affirmative act or course of conduct establishing confirmation. Such consent may be inferred from terms of lease and conduct of owner. McKinney's lien law. Harner versus Sketcher, Harner versus SCHECTER, 482 New York State, 2D 124. So, with consent, my people, with consent, with the intent of giving a preference, with the cost of sale, with the court, with the deed, with the intent. Okay? So with consent, with the intent. With the intention of transferring a proprietary interest therein. Okay? So you're using your UCC1 with the intention of transferring proprietary interest therein. Okay? So here's a good one. With the intent to deprive. That's what they have been doing. With the intent to deprive. And a prosecution for robbery. An instrument that if defendant at a date and time specified feloniously, I'm not even going to go into it, but you can look it up yourself, with the intent to deprive. And that's if we have not given consent, then all the documents that our mothers signed was with the intent to deprive. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? And here's another one with the IRS. With the intent to hinder, delay, or defraud. Now, all the people that have been delayed with their tax refunds, that would fall under with the intent to hinder, delay, or defraud. So, now, if we are giving consent, then with the knowledge and consent, you know what I'm saying? Out of our mouth, with the permission. So our words dictate the actions, and if it's on paper, then it's written consent, because you agree to a written contract that basically really was made with the intent to deprive. That is why setting up your trust is the most important essential tool that you should be doing, because the trust is supposed to protect you and your beneficiaries and your property and all your interests. So, my people, with the understanding, with whom she lives. So, my people, you have to really start digging into your law books. You really do. Because there's a lot of writs, and I have a live where I was dropping a whole bunch of writs for people. I'm dropping you $1 million worth of game, over $1 trillion worth of game right now. Y'all need to hit my Cash App up and give me a donation straight up. $RUBIEWILKIE. Okay, you need to donate, because I'll give you the real. I give you something to feel. I give you words to taste on and swallow, and you have eaten well after I drop what I drop. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, my people. There is no way that you can go wrong when you are listening to the United States private enterprise free state, my people. Straight up, because that's how we roll. 2025, y'all. We are already in the month of July, and August is approaching. It will be September soon. And we don't want to be in the same situations that we're in right now for the month of July. So, if you don't want to be in your same situation, you will study, and then study some more. You know what I'm saying? That's a slogan. You can make a t-shirt out of it if you want to. Study on the front, and on the back, then study some more. Okay? Or it could be on the front of your t-shirt. But that's the bottom line, my people. It's how much work you put in. They want to see, because what I dropped earlier on the live, the acceptance of Trustee Oath, and the appointment of fiduciary, is all competency. It shows how competent you are. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take you to put your paperwork in. It's that you get around to actually submitting the paperwork in, because this is paperwork that people need to see. If you have to walk with the paperwork into the bank, do it. Fax it for you, do it. If you have to walk into the Federal Reserve with your paperwork, do it. Because it's best that you stand up and do something instead of doing nothing at all. And if you fail, at least you stood up and you know where your mistake is at. That is showing standing in law. That you can actually get up, participate in the game, and the game is life. Here at the United States Private Enterprise Free State and Daicha Ma Eliantis Church, we don't play chess, and we damn sure don't play checkers. Yes, we know how to play chess, but this game that we really are in is called life. Chess and checkers, plastic pieces on a motherfucking board that have no life until a human being touches it with their energy. And your energy is what makes everything vibrate, frequency, and move, pivot straight up. So without your energy, nothing moves. Without your signature, there is no bond, there is no contract without a signature. Now, if they're forging signatures through electronic signature because you gave your signature, and then somewhere on the contract, if you read on these new contracts, it says that they're allowed, you give consent to use your signature electronically, which means that we gave consent to use our signature, they could use it. So guess what? If they want to play a detrimental game like that, you OID them motherfuckers and get your money right the fuck back. Because that is a game that is highly detrimental to the health and vibrational energy of the planet. You are planets within the planet. Therefore, you feel what the planet is feeling. So, as gatekeepers of the planet, because the Indians they knew that it was gold in the mountains all over this place, okay? The Indians were put there to protect what was in the inner earth. They got hijacked. You know, that's the bottom line. So the treasury that is for we the people, yes, it has been hijacked. That is why tax refunds are being delayed. So you will have to do a lot right now and tap into a higher energy source of the Most High, of the creation, of something higher than you, because you are dealing with a demonic force that is sitting in the IRS. And this is not allegedly, this is facts. Okay. Now, this could be allegedly what I'm getting ready to say. Somebody called me up yesterday and said, yo, they think that the entire IRS, the representatives, some of them they're saying might be advanced clones. Allegedly. It didn't come from me. Somebody said it to me to see what I would say. I'm not saying anything because you really don't know what you're dealing with right now when you're talking to any human being, because even on your computer, your cell phones, they're verifying to see if you're a human. What does that tell you? We have never in our life have been verified and asked the question, are you human? Because we're under another type of surveillance right now. Okay. Trump is doing a lot of outrageous things within this presidency that, you know, you can opt out by self-governing yourself. But the IRS, we can't really say, because you speak to someone over the phone, you don't know. They always put you on hold for 5 minutes to research the account. And then they'll come back. Sometimes it may take 7 minutes. They'll come back, oh, I'm still researching. Put you on hold do you mind holding for another 7 minutes? So you hold for another 5 to 7 minutes. So what I'm saying is, my point is that we don't know if they are advanced clones. And if they are, look who's in charge of the Social Security Administration. A nigga that has been creating clones and has SpaceX. You know, so you might want to start thinking that Has Elon Musk already put the clones in place in the SSA? Because they already had the movie Attack of the Clones, and they showed that to us about, I guess it was made over 25 years ago, which has, they had to have had enough time, you know, to switch everybody out up in the IRS, straight up. How do you know that you're not a clone? Is because you know you're not. You bleed red blood. Your veins are blue-green. You know what I'm saying? So you know that you're not a clone if your ass is trying to get a tax refund out of this motherfucker. That's how you know you're not a fucking clone. Because most people ain't trying to go and fight for this money right now. And this is a lot of money. I mean, I've talked to people where they got fucking millions sitting up in their goddamn tax transcript. I talked to motherfuckers with trillions sitting up in their tax transcript. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just stacking credits. And those are all they had to do is tell you that your prepaid account is the OID. Because it pays for everything. Once you have the status on record that you can, you know, go and authorize these things to happen. So the bottom line is that my people, if you wake up now, when will you wake up? Will you ever wake up? Do you have time to wake up? You know, is waking up a part of what you really want to do? Or do you want to stay in la la land and sleep forever? Because we do have spaces and we see people that are sleepwalkers every day. You can go and talk to some of them. Just start a conversation. It's the same conversation. Anybody that you meet along your path that is talking about this, you know they are wide awake and they are not in sleep trance mode. That is why you have to study, 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 then study some more. Straight up. Now, if I see it on a t-shirt, I'm gonna sue your ass because I already got it copywritten. Now, my people, I think I done said enough. I think I done gave you a trillion, billion, zillion, quadrillion, cotillion dollars worth of information. Nation. Break the word down, okay? It's all inner work. Everything starts from the inner mind. So what's on your inner mind is going to fluctuate and be revisioned on the outer. So if you are constantly thinking of this refund, you will receive it because your thoughts are putting you where you need to be. Think it, so be it, you become it, and so it is. Straight up. Now, like I said yesterday, take your Solomon's key and turn the lock. Stick your Solomon's key into the system and turn it. You will see the unlocking of your wealth and prosperity. Solomon married 700 women and saved their lives. He bore 300 children and their offsprings right now to this day. Okay? Who knows? We all may be a part of King Solomon's tribe, but it damn sure ain't a person with a curl on the side of their head walking around in a tall black hat with black and white suits on, talking about with a 6-pointed star on a flag, blue and white flag. That shit is crazy. Okay? So, I didn't say, but you already know. So, King's that how to stay wealthy into perpetuity. And that too was stolen by a flag with 6-pointed star on it. So my people, all, and I'm going to say it, Black people are the originals of this planet. And no, we're not the color of the black, but we are different shades and hues of copper. We are the copper tone people, the people of the sun. We are the sun people. We can sit into the sun as many hours on. Yes, we may burn, but we won't burn like they burn. Straight up. So when you understand who you are and you stand on your square into perpetuity with this, you will receive your tax refund because it is yours already waiting for you. Straight up. And they know it. That's why they have people on delay. The delay is fraudulent. They want you to file a 843 and then tell them why they should release it. Tell me if that is not hijacking and putting you under duress. You know what I'm saying? They wait, they're hoping you drop dead so that they can keep it for themselves. But you know what? Karma is a bitch. Straight up. King Solomon told them that. You know, they can clear all their karma with one swipe. Just give us what our portion, and you can keep another little portion of it. Because we gave you your freedom to come to our land. If we didn't let you in or invite you in, you wouldn't be here. Therefore, you owe us every penny, every interest, every credit, everything is owed back to we, the people. There's no way that you, and the karma is cancer. You know, if you work in the medical health field, you'll see all those people that you may have to tend for. You know, they're cancer-ridden, Alzheimer's, all types of diseases. It's because it's karmic. You can clear your karma up just by giving back what you owe to the people of the land that was already here before you. You want to clear and stop the cancer going through your family, you know, stop the Alzheimer's, stop all of the all those fucked up diseases that they got. You know what I'm saying? And then they try to throw it on copper tone people. Copper tone people, we have never had diseases like that in our culture ever. Because we were like my sister Isis Wisdom, because she always dropping it. Like my sister Isis Wisdom dropped a couple of days ago on her live. She talked about one of the Satan, how Satan really was a female, and how the Satan, the mother of Satan, how treated the daughter really, really bad. And the daughter, in turn, started treating people bad because that's how she was treated by her mother. So it starts from within the family. Straight up. How did your mother treat you? How did your father treat you? You had, like, it's so true. We have to heal from our childhood traumas because your parents had their own childhood traumas from our grandparents. So the childhood traumas never, ever stop. And the purpose, you have to heal from it. So, it's deep. So, once the people that are sitting over the treasury wake up and start to give us back our property, release our tax returns to us and stop holding them, you know what I'm saying, for no apparent reason, your karma will clear up. Especially Fresno, California. I really think that there's a bunch of clones sitting in that IRS in Fresno, California. Straight up. I'm dead serious. That one ain't no fucking allegedly on that shit. I really think that there's clones all up in that Fresno, California IRS office. Straight up. Because the letters that they send you from there is wild. Straight up. And they too. See, a clone doesn't know about karma. So whoever creates the clone, the karma is going to fall back on the creator of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep, my people. This whole process is a very highly spiritual process that really makes you fall back and think about everything in your entire life. Straight up. And half of the time, we are not even trying to destroy them with our tax refunds. We trying to better our own life and get on some land and start eating real food, drinking real well water. You know what I'm saying? Drinking water with minerals in it, sitting on our own land, having our own fucking powwows and shit like that. We are not worried about mass destruction weapons and creating shit like that. That's for some demonic motherfucker that has childhood issues that has never healed. And that is who has taken over the planet right now. Niggas with childhood traumas that have never healed. And when you fucking really get down with that shit, that's when you fall back and you start to heal yourself from that bullshit that niggas are putting in your face. And make you come off your square because you'll end up cursing a bitch out over some stupid shit. When you see people like that, you have to exit quickly. For real. Because you don't want to be around an unhealed person. You don't. Because 1, you're going to see it. 2, they're not ready to heal. Even it doesn't matter how much information you give somebody. If they're not ready to heal, you're wasting your time. Now, other people with all of these dyslexia and all of this fucked up shit they got going on, all you could do is be of service to them, and you must get paid for that shit. Because nobody really wants to be around that shit because that's their karma. It's a lineage within their own family because they have stolen from so many people and they have left so many people destitute out there on the street, and they don't even care. Some of them don't, like they said, don't even believe in karma. But you know what? It will catch up with you so fast, it'll make your head spin. So they just need to release our tax refunds to us now, because the longer you hold a tax refund from the chosen ones, from the highly spiritually elevated American nationals that here on the land, your karma gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So my people, on that note, I'm about to vacate the premises and get on up out of here. That is food for thought. This has been the United States Private Enterprise Free State, along with Deutsche Ma Eliantis Church. Peace, stay one, stay up, and I am out.